days to look over your first game. What are some things that really jumped out to you in evaluations?
It was a good start. Kind of like I said after the game, happy with my overall performance. Personally as a team, I was happy with the way we did things. But we were able to grade the film, watch it as a team on Sunday, and obviously now we're starting to move on. So.
The old coaching cliche is you make the big jump from week 1 to week 2. What's something you'd like to make a big jump in this week?
I didn't like, well, obviously with the turning the ball over. That was obviously a crucial mistake in the game. So heightened awareness, I guess, of my ball security is the biggest thing I want to work on, I guess.
Is there an excitement for you to play in front of the home crowd for the first time?
Yeah, definitely. Been hearing a lot of things really since Mississippi State started to become an option to come here, and been hearing a lot of good things about Davis Wade, and I'm really excited to to get in for the first time.
I know it's only Tuesday, but what have you all kind of seen of Southern Miss so far?
Feisty group, team that plays really hard. Really well coached. You can tell that they kind of have like a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to play hard for all 4 quarters. So we're definitely excited for the opportunity. Excited to like you said, get back in front of the home crowd, and just take another step forward and play to our potential.
Coach Moorhead said on Monday that he felt like you were very decisive with the football. When you go back and look at yourself on film, how do you feel about your decision making?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's obviously when you watch games, you want a couple throws back, and or I guess a couple of decisions you could say, and I think the same. Missing the post early in the first half to Osiris would have been a big play for us. A few things. I wish I had a couple throws back, but as far as the decision making, I didn't necessarily. Maybe the exception of 1 or 2 plays, I thought that each time, or I guess each rep, I was looking in the right spot and making the appropriate decision based off of what I saw. And so, game plan, they did some things differently, I guess, than what we were expecting, but we were able to clean it up on the sideline and change a few things there. So, all in all, happy with the performance, and new week, new opponent.
Without giving too much away, were you under any kind of instructions of don't run too often, or limit the amount of contact you took first game?
No, it was never really a thing. Coach wanted us just to play our game, and if the situation came where I needed to use my legs as a weapon, that was what I was, I guess, being coached to do. But there was never a don't run here, or make sure if you run here or something like that. There was never a conversation. So maybe that just goes based off of our relationship, knowing each other for a long time. And obviously, you don't want a lot of unnecessary hits, but whatever it's going to take to give the team the best chance to win, I'm going to do. So
obviously, we don't know play calls or plays or anything like that, but from our vantage point, it appears your receivers played pretty well. What was your assessment of that group?
Yeah, no, I was very excited with how we played. I can't remember exactly. I want to say 9. I think nine guys had touches in the game, and I guess Osiris was the big standout. I targeted him a bunch. I remember talking to you guys after the game. I didn't even really realize it. I guess that's kind of just the way the system rolls. It's never looking. I guess obviously we have matchups that we like to see and go after during situations, but a lot of talent in that room, and there's a high expectation for everybody that's out there, and we're really excited and really fired up about all of them. So I trust that whenever whoever's running, I don't know, use a corner route for example. Whoever's running the route, I'm trusting them to get open and give them a chance to make a play.
Osiris in particular, what have you seen from him since you've been here? You did, like you said, you did target him a lot, and I know a lot of that's just what you saw and what it dictated. But what have you seen from Osiris since you arrived?
Early on, even before I guess camp got into things, Osiris is one of those guys that you can count on him. He's a guy that's going to work. There's been multiple times where we've been able to come up and work out in the indoor at nighttime and nobody else is around. And I've been able to share similar experiences with some of the really talented receivers. When I was at Penn State, guys like Saeed Blacknall, I'm not sure if you guys are aware. He was with the Raiders for a little bit, with the Dolphins a little bit. I was a roommate with him. Jawan Johnson, who transferred the same class as me, he's at Oregon right now. Also lived with him at a time, and shared some similar experiences with them, where I was able to go into our indoor late at night, work, and just clean some things up. And so obviously that's another similarity that I have here with Osiris. And there was a couple of guys that I would get together and work with, and But, big, strong, fast kid that obviously is going to be a big weapon for us this season.
What's it like to have to play with 3 different centers in one game?
I've never experienced it before, but I think that what was really cool was, nobody really batted an eye. Nobody was, I guess, stunned by it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily, it was kind of just like, what's next, and we were just, trying to make plays happen. And that was I guess the hand that we were dealt for that game. But each guy stepped in and did a really good job. I think that I seen the stat that each offensive possession was some sort of different rotation, I guess, of offensive linemen. So really proud of those guys. Like I said after the game, I mean, I thought they played an outstanding game, especially given the circumstances of the way the game played out and the injuries that happened. And so, like I said, after the game, I was really excited after watching the film. I mean, they played amazing.
You kind of touched on it, but at Penn State, obviously, you had guys like Mike Gesicki or Dejon Hamilton who were kind of like the #1 guy, kind of clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
With this, you got a number of guys who can make plays.
Yeah.
What's that like? I guess how would you kind of assess the wide receivers room, and I guess knowing that you can go kind of all over the place to make plays.
Yeah, no, I think that I guess that could be something that's maybe a misconception, maybe, because I mean that was kind of how I felt about the guys at Penn State too. A guy named Chris Godwin played X for us, was a really good player in 2016, and then Juwan was able to play the X after that. But DeAndre Tompkins was able to play the Z there. I mean, we had a lot of guys that every guy that I've named, with the exception of Juwan, who's still at Oregon, has had some sort of stunt in the NFL. So a lot of talent there. And I think the coolest thing, I guess, about this group here is, we had guys that were true X's, true Z's, and our guys here really we can play them all over the place. And so obviously it gives us an opportunity to put some defenses in challenging situations, and it's really advantage us, I feel like, when you're able to do that.
How much does it help you as a quarterback having guys who can kind of play the mismatch and move them around the field? I mean,
yeah, it's awesome, and I think that it's another credit, I guess, to the coaching staff of being able to think of these type of things for us, and come up with some unique formations to force defenses into giving us what we want to attack.
What's it like having Keaton back this week?
It's good. It's really good. Really happy to have him back in the room. With the exception of, I guess, depth obviously is the first thing that comes to mind. But KT is a friend. I'm glad that he's back. He's been awesome since the time that I got here. And like I said, I couldn't be more fired up to have him back.
You a big fan of cowbells?
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I guess what I've been hearing about how loud it gets, and I haven't really experienced that, with the exception of being at a baseball game when I first arrived on campus. So, I bought my mom one. So I heard you're not allowed to buy your own. So I got my mom one for Mother's Day, so she'll be here with hers. But I'm like I said, I'm really excited to see the place and see all the fans come out for the first home game.
parents going down for game 1?
My dad's staying home. My brother plays Saturday too. So my mom, my sister, both grandmas, I think, are coming, and I think my aunt's coming too. I'm not sure. I get some extra tickets.
How cool is that to just have family in the stands with you behind you?
Yeah, it's really cool. My mom, my dad, and my sister were able to come to the game this weekend, and one of the first times, I guess, that they've actually been on time to the game. They were able to be there. I was able to see them pregame and talk to them, or talk to my dad and my mom before the game. So spent some time with them at the hotel the night before. It's just really cool, and I know that they're really excited about everything that's been going on.